All right.
Let's talk it over, let's talk it over, let's talk it over now. Let's talk it over, let's talk it over.
5 carats on her finger, got her hand smitten. But everybody get a ring, even Scottie Pippen. Everybody got a thing, but I guess mine isn't. With my vision, so I just sits in my Lamborghini, let my top 5 with me. Kick back and get high with me.
All right, let's talk about the entitlement of titles. Now, at a certain point, everybody feels entitled. Let's say at your job all the time, right? How many times do you hear at your job somebody say that, man, I've been here for this long, I done this and that for this company, I deserve a raise, I deserve a promotion. Listen to me, man. I deserve is a entitled person's favorite phrase. In my opinion, nobody is more entitled than a person with a title. And when I say a person with a title, I mean any title excluding a job title, because I feel like if you work, you deserve to be compensated. But I mean titles like husband, wife, father, mother, brother, sister, girlfriend, boyfriend, titles like that. Those are the ones I mean. Now, my problem with titles stems from 2 things: expectations and bias. Let's start with bias. Whether or not you want to admit it, we all have our biases. Whether it's biases for people that we like or people we don't like, whether it's biases for sports teams or foods, whatever it is, everybody has their bias. I personally have my biases when it comes to people. I prefer my brothers and my parents over anybody walking this earth. But I can tell you why for each of them, and it has nothing to do with the fact that we're related or that they're my family. Matter of fact, they are my family because of the people that they are. I have blood relatives that I don't consider family, and I also have friends who I consider my family that I don't share a drop of blood with. This kind of bias I can understand because it's a bias based off of merit or based off of a person's character. That I can agree with. The biases that I can't understand are the ones that have no basis in logic. Here's an example. I asked one of my co-workers for my old job, I asked him the question, I said, who would you do more for, or who would you help more? Your best friend or your least favorite cousin? He answered his least favorite cousin. And when I asked him why, he gave the simple answer of, because he's family. Really, nigga? What the fuck kind of answer is that, bruh? Like, I told him straight up, I said, bro, you a terrible friend, yo. Like, straight up, like, I would hate for you to be my best friend and for you to have that kind of thinking and that kind of mindset. Like, you would do more for your least favorite cousin who, more times than not, you were kind of forced to be around by your parents than your best friend who you actually chose to be in your life. Like, to me, that makes no sense. His explanation is what really bugged me, because it wasn't, in my mind, it wasn't in the basis of logic. Like, you didn't say because he helped, because your least favorite cousin helped you out, or what he's done for you, or in general, just what he means to you. You said just because he's family, because he's my cousin. And really, I'm starting to begin to see that's how a lot of people think. Like, they'll use a person's title as a means to justify, to help them, or to, you know what I'm saying, or to do something for them. Like, we're so used to saying those kind of things, like, it makes sense to us, but it doesn't. But in all reality, it doesn't make sense. Like, you're not giving any defining characteristics of a person besides the title that you gave him. I'm doing this for my cousin, I'm doing this for my uncle, I'm doing this for my moms. Like, why are you doing? You're doing it because because of those titles, that's to me that just doesn't make any sense. That's my brother, you know what I'm saying? You know how he is. That's my mom's, you know what I'm saying? Nah, nigga, fuck that, bro. People gonna be people no matter the title you give them, and that's facts. I'm a proponent of, if somebody is showing you who they are, believe them. Ain't too many times you gonna do me wrong and I'm just gonna let it slide. Disrespect is disrespect no matter who it comes from. I don't give a damn what title you gave them, how high of a pedestal you put those people on. Like, nah, son, we not, at least on my side, I'm not standing for that, you know what I'm saying? Because nah, dog, son, it's just not happening, bro. I don't care if disrespect come from your girl, if it come from your homies, if it come from your parents. I take all disrespect as that. Like, it's only one definition of disrespect, and that's how I'm taking it. I don't care. It's not gonna change because somebody else says it or whatever. I don't care who says it. It's not a fact. It's not about who said it. It's about what's being said. At the end of the day, no matter who says it, it's just about what's being said. And if it's disrespectful, it's disrespectful, and you're not getting a pass just because you got this title in my life. That's just not how it works. And I know people saying it's easier said than done to say you're just gonna drop somebody, you know what I'm saying, just all like that. Like, yo, if you disrespect me, yo, we ain't gonna be cool no more, or I ain't talking to y'all. You could be talking to your brother, you could be talking to your moms or whatever like that. It's hard, it's a hard thing to do. It's only a hard thing to do when you don't put yourself first. When you look at your feelings and just look at you as secondary to somebody else. In some cases, I can understand you looking at yourself as I can't even really say that. I don't think you should ever look at yourself as coming in second to anything. And I mean to anything, not to your parents, not even to your kids. I still think because you can't be the best. You can't be best for them if you're not the best version of yourself. And to be the best version of yourself is to take time and to take care of yourself. So to help yourself in return, you're helping others. So I don't ever think it's selfish to put yourself first, but that kind of thinking doesn't really go over too well in this kind of society. I don't know when people decided that in life we're just supposed to endure miserable shit or just be unhappy. Like, I don't know when that became a thing like that. Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. Like, we shouldn't spend a significant amount of time being unhappy or miserable for the sake of, you know what I'm saying, other people. Because to tell you the truth, you're not entitled to your happiness, bruh. Like, that's the one thing that people got messed up around. You're not entitled to no happiness. It's just like anything. You got to work for it. Like, you got to put in the work to become happy. It just doesn't happen overnight. And sometimes you got to make tough decisions, like cutting people off or whatever. But I feel like if your heart and your intentions are in the right place, then you good. Like, you can't do no wrong as long as you standing on something firm and you believe what you're standing on. How can you feel wrong about that? Like, I find comfort in knowing that the decisions that I can make they don't come from a place of malice. They come from honest intent and integrity and you know what I'm saying, a good set of morals. So when I do something, just, you know what I'm saying, I can't feel bad about it because I understand, like, the process that goes into this thinking. So y'all say easier said than done. I say the sooner you do it, the quicker you heal. So many people are stuck in toxic and volatile situations because they feel like they owe somebody something or somebody has something over them, over their heads. And let me tell you this, bruh, you don't owe nobody nothing, period. And if somebody is hanging something over your head that they did for you, they didn't do it out of genuine love. They did it for leverage, and that's a red flag. And you should understand that whatever, it don't even matter what they did for you. If they're just hanging it over your head and berating you with it and like using it against you, I don't care what it is. I don't care if they saved your life. If they keep throwing that shit in your face, it's over, bro. Like, I'm not dealing with you because you're not about to make me feel like a second-class citizen, bro. Like, that's just not how it's gonna work. I have to, my life matters to me, you know what I'm saying? And my feelings matter to me. You gotta go. You gotta go. If you can't understand that, you gotta go. You're not true in who you are. You know what I'm saying? You're not the person that I thought you was. I thought you was doing it as a genuine, you know what I'm saying, a genuine show of good faith, you know what I'm saying, or you being a friend, or you being, you know what I'm saying, a good person. But nah, you was doing it to hold it over me, and you ain't got that power over me no more. I'm not gonna let you do that to me. So ties get cut, bro. It's over. My second point, expectations. Generally, I'm a man of low expectations because I know people ain't shit. Men, women, black, white, Latino, Asian, Jew, Gentile, all collectively ain't shit. A lot of people have faith in humanity. I have zero faith in humanity. So with that being said, I don't expect much from people. Do you expect your mother to love you? You expect your girlfriend to be honest with you? Do you expect your friend to have your back? Of course you do. Me, I'ma ask why. Why do you feel that way? I'ma tell you why you feel that way. Because you have built-in expectations for every single title you have ever given out in your entire life. Think about it. From TV to the neighborhood to social media, we all have an idea of what a friend is supposed to be. A father, a mother, a husband, a brother, a wife, all of that. We have this idea of what they're supposed to be. In your head, whether you know or you don't know, is that you have a checklist in your head of what this person is supposed to do or this person is supposed to be based on the title that you giving out. And when they don't do the things that fit that list, you go, well, that's not how a friend is supposed to act. That's not how a dad is supposed to act. That's not how a mother is supposed to act. My question is, can you really blame somebody for not meeting your expectations? Is it their fault that they aren't who you want them to be? Or is it your fault for not accepting them as they are? Google the definition of any of those titles: mother, brother, father, sister, uncle, aunt, whatever. Google those titles and tell me where your expectations are in that definition. Please tell me where your expectations are in those definitions. A father, by definition, is just a man in relation to his child or children. That's it. It isn't until we throw adjectives in front of that the definition changes. Good father, happy father, bad father, attentive father, intimate father. Those adjectives change the definition of a father and add expectations. But at its core, a father by definition has no expectations. Here's a dope clip from a dope movie called Fences.
Can I ask you a question?
The hell you got to ask me? Mr. Stewicki, the one you got the questions for.
How come you ain't never liked me?
Like you? Who the hell said I got to like you? What law is there say I got to like you? Want to stand up in front of my face and ask a damn fool-ass question like that? Talking about liking somebody. Come here, boy, when I talk to you. Straighten up, goddammit. I asked you a question. What law is there say I got to like you?
None.
All right, then. Don't you eat every day? Answer me when I talk to you. Don't you eat every day?
Yeah.
Nigga, as long as you in my house, you put a sir on the end of it when you talk to me.
Yes, sir.
You eat every day.
Yes, sir.
Got a roof over your head.
Yes, sir.
Got clothes on your back.
Yes, sir.
Why you think that is?
Because of you?
Hell, I know it's because of me. But why do you think that is?
Because you like me?
Like you. I go out of here every morning. I bust my butt putting up with them crackers every day because I like you. You're about the biggest fool I ever saw. It's my job. It's my responsibility. A man is supposed to take care of his family. You live in my house, fill your belly with my food, put your behind on my bed because you're my son. Not because I like you, because it's my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you. Now, let's get this straight right here and now before I go along any further. I ain't got to like you. Mr. Rand don't give me my money come payday because he like me. He give it to me because he owe me. Now, I don't give you everything I got to give you. I give you your life. Me and your mama worked that out between us, and liking your black ass wasn't part of the bargain. Now, don't you go through life worrying about whether somebody like you or not. You best be making sure they're doing right by you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Then get the hell out of my face and get on down to that A&P.
I love that scene. It touches on a lot of things. It touches on the feeling of responsibility by a parent, touches on putting yourself before others. But the thing that really stuck out to me was don't go through life worrying about if somebody like you or not. Just make sure they're doing right by you. Come on, man. Say less, bro. All in all, man, I'm not against titles. I'm just against the way we use them to justify certain things or to compare. Your wife ain't like his wife, because they just two different people who grew up in two totally different atmospheres and communities and shit like that. Same thing with a brother, same thing with a mother. Many times we don't even really know the people that we care about. Think about it. Do you really know the person? Do you really know who your mother is? Do you really know the ins and outs of your father? Do you really know the trials and tribulations your brothers went through? Do you really know? Do you ever sit down and take the time and ask them about the things that made them who they are? And in return, do you ask yourself, why do I do this? Do you ever question why you do certain things? Like the things that you do every single day, do you ever sit down and question why you do those things? Everybody is battling something, and life still goes on. They're still continuing to live their life. You can get caught up in the fast motions of life, and all of a sudden, you got a husband, 3 kids, and a job, and now you feel like you have no time to take care of yourself. You feel like throughout that time you didn't take any time between raising kids, supporting the marriage, or supporting yourself at a job. You didn't stop and take any time to heal those wounds that were caused way back when. You just either tried to forget about them, put them aside, or just made excuses on reasons not to do it. And unknowingly, you probably projected those things, those feelings that you have, you probably projected those onto the people you care about without even knowing. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that you don't know is understandable. Like I can understand that, but it just shows that you really need to take time and just pick your own brain and just think about why you do things and what's hurting you, and you know what I mean, just things like that. Love people, talk to people, deal with people based off of who they are, not who you expect them to be. Because I'm telling you, there is not one person who will ever meet your expectations 100%. It's just not how it works. Like, I know people who don't talk to their families at all, and I 100% understand it. At the end of the day, people are people, no matter the title, and you connect with who you connect with, and you don't connect with who you don't connect with. Everybody, just because we're told that we're supposed to be around this person or something like that, it just doesn't click sometimes. And it's understanding. To me, it makes perfect sense. Like, we're all not supposed to just click. You're not supposed to click with everybody, and sometimes you're around people who you don't click with, and it's okay to remove yourself from that situation. Forcing a connection with somebody puts a burden on the whole relationship. I read a book called The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, and he states in there that relationships are always 50-50. Any and all relationships are 50-50. I do my part, you do your part. The moment we start doing each other's parts, or somebody starts putting forth more effort than the other, that's when resentment starts to build. That's when you start to kind of not like each other, and you have to let people do their part. It's this saying amongst relationships, like, yo, we have to make it work. We have to make it work. Nah, that's not. No, making it. No, like, nah, you don't have to make it work. Listen, you shouldn't, like I said, you shouldn't have to force connection. Either it's there or it's not. People will put up effort if they want to. That's period. It's 50-50. I do my part, you do your part, and we're good. You can't just put You can't just put up more effort when you see someone's lacking in their effort. They're lacking for a reason. Putting forth more effort or more care than the other person, it's not gonna fix the problem. It's not gonna fix the problem. It's gonna take less off of their shoulders and put more onto yours. And eventually, like I said, you're gonna resent them. You're gonna hate them for it. Like, why aren't you doing your part? You're gonna be mad, but it's your fault. Ain't nobody asked you to play both parts. Ain't nobody asked you to play husband and wife. Ain't nobody asked you to play mother and daughter. Ain't nobody asked you to do all that. You chose to do that. I showed you if I showed you who I was, and I didn't want to be in the relationship, or just not as much as you, take that as a sign. That's a red flag. That means, yo, we need to sit down and we need to have a talk. It's not no, oh, well, let me, you know what I'm saying, let me go and do for two now. Like that, nah, that's not what you do. You do your part and I do my part. If I'm not doing my part, we have a conversation on, yo, why aren't you doing your part? Wrapping up, man, I just want to say there's no one way there's no one way to be anything. There's no one way to be a mom. There's no one way to be a wife. There's no one way to be a father, a brother, a husband. There's no one way. And just a question, like, why do you expect me to change who I am, but I can't expect you to change your expectations? But hey, what do I know? Stay up, y'all. Peace.